It's time for another build your own palette, and this one is extra special for two reasons. One, it's a collaboration with Kelly, aka Ratboar, and two, the theme is the newest Pokemon game, Legends ZA. And if you're not following Kelly yet, you definitely want to check out her channel as well as her Instagram. She does so many beautiful looks, so much beautiful inspiration of looks and color combinations I wouldn't even think of. She also does some beautiful swatches and comparisons on like the tips of her finger. I'll pop some up here. You definitely want to check her out. She's an amazing creator. She is super sweet, and check out her BYOP palette as well. I'm super curious to see what it looks like. There's so many different ways that you could build the color story for Pokemon ZA. So here is my Pokemon ZA color story. I was going for the night and day. It's very much what the game is built around. So you have like a timer in the upper left hand corner around the map that tells you when it's about to switch to nighttime, and in the nighttime is when the battle zones switch on. The location of the game is definitely in Paris, even though there isn't technically the Eiffel Tower. There is something very much like it. It is a city landscape. So you're basically running around a city in the nighttime, but you also get to do it during the daytime. And you will see different Pokemon spawn depending on if it's daytime or nighttime in the wild areas. So I'm going to talk about a little bit more in depth why I chose each of the colors and what they stand for. And then I'm going to show you how I created this look. So let's get right into it. I decided to do a 12 pan color story. I wanted to represent the night and the daytime. So we have the nighttime here and then the daytime here. And I did mostly want to use mattes with a combination of some more sheer shimmers. I'm going to pop up different pictures as I'm talking to what I'm referencing. So for example, for the two purple shades, this is a purple iridescent and this is like a lavender. And these two represent Jacinth. She is one of the people you battle towards the end of the game. And then the bright neon yellow and the teal represent Canary, and she's another person you battle. And those are really the only two references of people that you battle, because I could have done a whole palette on just that, but I feel like their color palettes really stand out, especially with this color combination. It's a really nice combination, and the way they execute it on the character is really fun. And she has all electric type Pokemon, so it just makes so much sense with her. And then the bright green is for the glowing of the wild areas, the walls that contain essentially what are parks of Pokemon that you go and enter to hunt for Pokemon. I also had a lighter matte brown in here as well to really represent just the overall city landscape and the vibes of the city, which is definitely a little bit more like beige cement, more brown tones of the buildings, as well as the ground you're working on. And then of course I had to do a bright blue for the bright blue sky for the daytime. The red is for the battle zones that are during the nighttime. And then the rest of these mattes are to represent just the overall vibe, the way everything kind of gets a little bit of a grayish blue cast over it. And especially with the red, it really gives you that moody evening battle scene kind of vibe. Looking at it, I'm going to switch these two because I think I want the purple shimmer to be here with the purple matte, and this brown shimmer is representative of the color of the cityscape of the buildings and the ground. And the red can also represent the healing centers and of course a Pokeball. So definitely wanted to have a dark red in here. So let's swatch the palette. I prime with the Morphe Eyeshadow Primer. And I'm first using Atrament from Glam Shop, and it's going to go on the outer crease as well as blending it down to my lower lash line. And I'm just keeping it to the outer part because I'm going to be deepening it up and I want to leave it blank. And then picking up Mons from Terra Moons. And I'm going to pop that on the actual lid, kind of on an angle. And that is super pigmented. And then blend it underneath the lower lash line. And I'm going to take like a larger, clean, fluffy brush and just go over the edge here. I don't want to add any more pigment here. And then I'm taking a little bit of setting powder. I'm just going to pop that in here. Next, I'm going to take the bright blue, which is from the Best Mattes palette from Beaute bar, so it doesn't have a name. And I'm going to pop that on the inner half of my lid. I'm blending it into the gray. Taking a Land on the Stars and I'm putting that kind of all over the lid. And then just blending it by tapping it. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to fix that up now. So I'm taking the brush I used the blue with. And then I'm going to take the other brush. This is a neon shade, so It's the kind of shade that's very powdery, and it does not really, it's not really a shade you want to blend too much. So I have to definitely be a bit careful with it. I'm gonna go back in with just like a little bit here. I did kind of wipe away with the neon. Next I'm taking the Shine On Shimmer Shadow Enhancer, and I'm just gonna trace up here where I have the neon. I picked up a Retro from Shinebysd, and I'm just gonna place it right on top of that. And then just gonna swipe it up. And then on the lower lash line, I'm going in with a little bit of the teal, which is from the Best Mattes palette. And I'm gonna wipe off the brush, and I'm taking Aria from Devinah Cosmetics underneath the rest of the lower lash line. Here's the finished look. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the color story. What kind of color story would you build for Pokemon ZA if you're playing it? I've pretty much almost 100%ed it. Besides finding all the colorful screws, those are just eluding me. There's so many of them. And don't forget to check out Kelly's video, which will be linked in the description box. I can't wait to see her color story and her look as well, because like I said, she does some really awesome looks. And of course, thank you, Kelly, for collaborating with me on this video. I had so much fun picking out the shades for the color story. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will have some other videos up on the screen for you that are similar to this one, some more BYOP content if you enjoy it. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.